Hello, and welcome to Linking to the Afterlife. I'm Donna Boyle, a medium and direct messenger for spirit. It's my job to interpret the images and sensations that appear in my physical as well as my emotional body. Spirit knows what we are ready to receive at this time for our soul's growth. Spirit always knows best. Let's listen in now to the conversation with my guests in the physical and spiritual world. The real question for all of us is, are we ready to hear the message?
My name's Mary.
Now would you state the first name of the loved one that you'd like to link up with?
Lee.
Lee was not an older person, I would say, above the age of 80. This would have been a younger person than the age of 80. Is that correct?
Yes.
Would you say this person, is it a woman?
Yes.
This person was also looked younger than she actually was. She had great physique. She had great skin tone. Would that be correct?
Yes. From what I know, I was told she had a good energy.
Okay, perfect. She's telling me that I've got a great physique. Look at my skin tone, Donna. She was very proud of her appearance and proud of her ability to stay fit. Do you know that?
Yes. Like I said, what I do know is just that she had that beauty, natural beauty.
Okay, good. Thank you. She's still a little confused, though, as how the heck she got out of that physical world. So I'm going to take that as her death was sudden. She didn't see it coming. And she's even saying now, I'm still saying now, Donna, I don't know how the heck that happened. Do you know the answer to that, Mary?
I do know the answer, but I don't know how much I should disclose.
Was her death sudden?
It was sudden, but I'm unsure if it was expected or not. I guess I'll put it that way.
So I hear what you're saying, and I also hear what she is saying, which is, I didn't see that one coming, or I didn't think that would come so soon. Would that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. I don't feel a long period of time that she was sick, or it could be that she was not in a lot of physical pain, or she kept that pain in. Any of those making sense?
Yes, I think that internalizing the pain, definitely.
She said, Donna, I didn't want other people, number one, to worry. Number two, to have to take care of me or to think they have to take care of me. I just didn't want that. Or number three, they would take it on. They would take that pain as their own and feel really bad and start to say, oh, I wish I could take the pain away. It's just, I just didn't want that upon my spirit. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, from what I know and I was told, yes.
She says, I eventually, like she might have been just a loner too in her life. Like she was very good at taking care of herself. It didn't matter. She didn't need anyone. Did she have someone with her? Meaning, did she live with someone? Did she have a lot of relationships? Do you know that?
I would say probably more of the loner because of the internalizing.
Okay. That's what I'm feeling from her. She said, at the end, I kind of gave up. I kind of knew, and I kind of gave up. I kind of figured out what was going to happen. And I said, you keep saying kind of, but you also say gave up. She said, yeah, I kind of knew. I kind of knew it was going to happen. And eventually I just gave up. I don't feel there was, again, any physical pain in her body. What took her at that point of crossing took her fast.
Yeah. She overdosed on pills, and I was told that she actually choked on her vomit. She was surprised herself, exactly what you said. So it wasn't the pills that killed her. It was the regurgitating and the choking.
So who is this person to you, Mary? Can I ask?
My mom.
Do you know if she had a lot of stomach issues? You don't know.
I'm just thinking maybe I should have asked about my dad because I know a lot more about him.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Let's play this one out.
I guess the history stuff is just bringing up a lot.
Do you want to go with it? Because we could always pause. If you want to hear more from her, we can. Otherwise, we can stop. It's all up to you.
Okay.
Just take a breath. Take a breath. You're perfectly safe. She seems like a wonderful woman, just very caring about herself. Herself. Remember when she first came, it was all about, look at the way I look. Look how young I am. Look how young I look. What would you like to do, Mary? Would you like to continue?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what else she has to say. Her mother is also there with her. Is her mother in the non-physical world, your grandmother?
Both of my grandparents are now, but they were not when she passed.
They're there now together. All of them are together. Your mom is with her parents. They're both there. They form this little group, the three of them. They feel like they're still hanging around the physical world, like still kind of attached to the physical realm. The way I view them in the certain planes of existence in the non-physical world, I view them as like kind of hanging out right here beside me, you know, attached to physical, attached to the physical body. It works for the three of them.
Again, if I knew the direction of the reading, I probably would have connected with my dad.
Could I ask you,
Yeah,
what were you expecting from your mother?
I guess just, I don't know, when I've connected with her in the past, you know, maybe I already know what I needed to connect, and I do feel her around me. It's been almost 50 years since she passed. And my grandparents both, I believe it was in the 80s that they passed. Yeah, so I guess just maybe I try not to have expectations. So
Yeah, but you do. But you do. Yeah.
yeah, well, I do because this is new to me. I guess I've had a reading, but this is a new way of doing it. And so
Sure.
going back and delving so much into back at that time, I guess, is kind of just caught me out. I wasn't expecting that. So I'm trying to be open to it. And so please bear with me. You know, my mom took her own life. So this is an emotional thing anyways. And so for me to go backwards, you know, almost 50 years and kind of be in that, I wasn't I'm a little caught off guard. So please bear with me too. I'm here and I'll do the best that I can. I just don't like I try and block a lot of that out.
Well, clearly it's emotional.
Yeah, it was a painful thing. You know, all of it was painful, and being away from that side of the family and all of that.
And there's more to learn.
Always.
Clearly, if there's bringing up some emotion, then let's get through that. All my readings are different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like to call myself this intimate conversation that I always have with spirit. So when you say I'm open to receive, spirit comes through with what you need.
Absolutely.
What you need. So if you need this, then either we delve in and do a little bit more regarding who she is.
Yeah, I do. And thank you.
Okay, not a problem. Don't worry about it. No, really, take a breath. Don't worry. Take your time.
Thanks for just understanding the magnitude. Like that whole time was completely pivotal to my life.
I can only imagine, because you had to be very young. You certainly don't look close to 50.
I was almost 4. I'm 53. And so.
Yeah. She had a tough time, but in her life, she still thought everything was about her, which is a fine way to think. However, me, Donna here, I have just so many different views about someone taking their life.
Me too. Yeah.
As hard as it is to see that and know that, I mean, I felt that. I didn't say it yet, but I felt there was something that caused her crossing.
Yeah.
She knew it. She knew she was going to do it, and she doesn't seem fazed by it. And there are many ways that our loved ones can take that. she's not fazed by it. So you don't be fazed by it. But that's not what I'm feeling with her. I'm feeling she still has that childlike mentality of, it's all about me. It's all about me. And it's not uncommon. I've certainly seen something like this before. It's not uncommon. But as a medium, I like to give my full attention to that. Because that soul might need something, might need healing from me.
And that makes perfect sense. She's tried to come through just in, because I'm open to that in the past, almost in like a pesky way, where I've had to tell her, like, you need to go away. Like, you need to back off because I'm trying to live my life here, if that makes sense.
It does. And
it kind of adds into what you're saying, that she's just about her and this kid's, like, almost joking. I've had questions and she'll show it up at the oddest times, just when I'm trying to move forward with my life.
So she does that because remember I said she's so close to the physical world.
Yeah.
She has the ability to do that.
Yeah.
So when my client says something like you just said, I'm like, I want to tell your mom and grandma, and maybe that's why grandma and grandpa are still there.
Yeah.
So they can like watch over that situation. But I'm going to tell her to move into the higher realms of spirit. She could still talk to you from the higher realms, but she won't feel that, like she wants that connection, thinking that I still want to be in the physical world.
Yeah, absolutely. She's reached through somebody to try and get me to connect with my estranged brother. Like, she's really gets involved.
Yeah. So she does some things that may not be appropriate for a spirit. And I'm somebody that believes in no good, bad, right, or wrong.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have to get involved that way.
Yeah. And part of me has accepted it, because if I don't, then I really feel like I'd feel the loss. But yeah. So, I mean, I do hear what you're saying. I appreciate it.
I'm going to tell her again to move away. She doesn't have to stay so close to the world of spirit. Sometimes it's because someone in the world of physical still wants that connection to her too, which avoids that crossing into the light, we'll say. Again, no good, bad, right, or wrong. They have choices in the world of spirit, just as we have choices here. And if she's perfectly happy where she is, I would leave her. But it sounds like there's some conflict going on with the world of physical and her. So do you know of anyone in the physical world that is, still living, that would like that communication that she's giving, that would, like I call it Velcro, still Velcro to the physical being of your mother?
I would have to say myself, not really conscious of it. And then her younger sister.
So we can't do anything about the sister.
Yeah.
Right now, anyway, but we can.
And I'm not certain, but.
Okay. But I appreciate you for saying that. And really all it takes is for you to say to her, it's time for you to move on. I'll still talk to you further along the path, but it's time for you to move on. Recognizing she is the soul who was your mom. But as we keep her so close, she's still your mom, and those feelings and emotions are still there. And that Velcro hangs around too. I'll tell a quick story here. When my cat died, that was like the first thing that I was so close to.
Yeah.
That passed away. And this is when I was a medium. So I'm thinking,
yeah,
great, he's going to come to me all the time. I'm going to be able to talk to him all the time. His name was Angel. It's like, this is a perfect situation here.
Yeah.
But I was so attached to his physical form. I just grieved the loss of holding him, running into my arms and meeting me at the door and going for car rides, that I couldn't see him in the world of spirit. I only held on to his physical form. When I released the physical form of my cat, he was able to speak to me in many other ways, come to me in many other ways. But I had to let that go. That was a grief in me that I had to, I had to feel it for as long as I needed to feel it, but I had to let that go. So I was a part of that. I wasn't seeing him and feeling him because I was still attached to the physical form. And if there was some guilt around a crossing, that will keep the physical being close to you, but not the spiritual being close to you. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I feel like I do connect more with the spiritual. Like I've let go of both my parents just showing up the way that they both could. And they both show up as like bumpers as I'm ready to fall off the side. Sometimes with my struggles, they show up and they kind of, so they're both helping me spiritually to me in this. I am aware of how I was affected as an almost 4-year-old girl who was in the house when this happened. I have the note that she left.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm happy to have that note from all of those many years ago. And so there's that, melding, but I think she's here to help me spiritually. She comes through in a few different ways.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there's two sides to that, because the statement you just made to me, if I can be truly honest, is there's still a part holding on to her passing, but yet you want to have that spiritual connection and to hang on to the story, to hang on to the note, to hang on to all of that. You've got to do what you've got to do. But from this reading and from what Lee is showing me, there's still an attachment. And as a medium and been doing this and seeing this sort of thing, it's got to start from you, the let go first. But you have to understand you're not letting go of her spirit, of her soul. You're only letting go of the attachment to the physical world and how that played itself out. And then it doesn't mean you can't go back there, but the healing will happen faster then. You see how there could be such a draw to that, but that you can't go further because of that. You can still ascend spiritually, but there's always the draw pulled back to the past.
The almost 4-year-old that's still stuck inside of me that I keep trying to take care of, it hinders my life.
Yep, for sure. That's heartbreaking for me. It's heartbreaking. I feel that because she's not suffering. You are.
And I thought to just do the same thing because I can't seem to get rid of the pain.
Well, you can. There are just different ways or old ways that you need to try again because you do want to do it. I know that. There was a point at the beginning here where I thought, because I know what's playing out. I know what's going to happen. I see it. But there was a point when you were going to say, I'm just going to talk to my dad, screw this. But you went there. You stayed with it. And that's a big part of this right now. Maybe that's all you have to do. And you're like, oh, now I see what I was doing from a different perspective.
Yes. And I think that's why her name came out, because that's where the, I don't know, issue is, but that's where I just feel stuck, and I have a daughter of my own who's 19 that I could not make the choice that she made because of that.
It's so hard to think, again, almost 50 years ago.
I know.
Have that compassion for that long ago, had no idea what was going on.
No.
That for her, all she could do was stay in the state of, it's all about me. It's all about me. Because if she went anywhere further, that would put her off balance. That would make her shake. If she started thinking about other things, she couldn't get through her life. If she just kept it as, this is all about me, look at how good I look, that kept her stable. That was her coping mechanism.
I get that.
It's a different story when you look at it a different way. And it's what you're ready for. I heard you and you said, other times she's come through, she's given you that. I hear that.
Yeah.
You weren't ready for this. Now you're ready for this.
Yeah, I agree. Because like I said, lately in my life, I've been just feeling really stuck, like I'm not able to expand. And because of this stuff.
Is it stuff? Is it just something that's been holding itself in my body, waiting to release it? Want to do a little exercise with me right now?
Yes, I would love it.
All right, close your eyes. Deep breath in and out. Just let your shoulders drop. Let your belly be soft. And that 4-year-old Mary sitting by your side because she tells me, I don't feel safe in her lap yet, but she's holding your arm. She's right there.
Yeah.
She's holding your arm. It's almost like she's mothering you right now. And she says, Donna, she's so cute. Donna, I'd like to sit on her lap. Do you think she'll let me? And I'm like, I'll ask her. Mary, is it okay if 4-year-old you sits on your lap?
Yes, absolutely.
Got goosebumps. So she's trying to climb up there, but she says to me, Donna, can she get softer for me? Softer. I feel like I just want to be supported. But also, I want to sink. I want to sink into her lap. I want to sink into her belly. I want her to hold me and have it be all squishy. And I'll say, okay, she heard what I just said, but I'll ask her, Mary, the adult Mary, can you make your lap squishier?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you make your belly softer?
Yes.
She said, Donna, I have more tissues for her if she wants them. I'll say, I'm sure she could use them. And she said, little Mary saying, I'm ready to climb up on her lap now. I'm ready. I said, okay, go for it. She's ready too. Soft breath, soft breath, soft breath. Keep letting your belly sink, your lap just sink with the weight of her sitting with you now. She's quiet. She's looking up at your face, but she's feeling your heart. She's sticking her hands right on your heart. And it's like she can push her little fingers. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm going to push my little fingers and I'm going to touch your heart. Will you allow that to happen, adult Mary?
Yes.
She says, I just want to touch your heart. And I'm going to ask her, are you opening her heart? Are you pulling some things out of her heart? She said, none of those. I want to connect with her heart. I want her to feel me, connect with me. And I don't want to be by her side anymore. I want to be with her. Do you allow that, Mary? Adult Mary?
Yes.
Soft breath, soft shoulders, soft belly. She said, I'm ready now, Donna. And I said, ready for what? So I'm ready to stay on her lap until I grow so big, I become her. And the two of us come together as one. And there will be no more holding back. There will be no more resistance. She's even starting to talk like an adult now. Do you hear her voice change? She said her heart is soft, but yet it still broke. She said, Donna, how does a heart break if it's soft? How does it break if it's soft? And I'll tell her, I don't know if it breaks as much as it just melts. It melts so that you feel you have no more heart, that your heart doesn't even exist. It's melted. And she asked me, well, can I do anything about that? And I said, I think you already are by holding her like that and holding her heart in your hands because you are her heart. She's thanking me. She's thanking you. She says, I'm going to get heavy pretty soon. She's not going to be able to hold me on her lap. I said, I don't think you have to worry. I know that she will take this exercise seriously. And the two of you, both your hearts, will come together as one. Deep breath in and out. Adult Mary, do you feel her with you?
Yes.
Do you feel her hands on your heart?
Yes.
You see, your heart was never hardened. It only melted. And now we can bring it all back together, like suck it up. Every place it was comes right back to you. And with the two of you together, two's always better than one, but eventually you will both be one. I'm going to say goodbye to her now, but you will continue to have her with you. Deep breath. How you doing? Okay.
Yeah.
She was so cute. You were so cute.
I have a little picture of me.
Oh,
That was right after.
it was the exact height that I saw her standing beside you.
Yeah, that's how she comes.
She's ready. She's been ready. She's been waiting for you. But she's been right by your side. Right by your side. She never left. She never left. And you did that. You accepted that challenge. You stepped right up to the plate. You did a great job.
I know that they know that I'm ready for this more than I know that I'm ready at times.
You did it.
Yeah.
This has happened.
Yeah.
You can't go back now. This has happened. It's happened.
Yeah.
I did not expect it. You did not expect it.
No.
But that's what going with your gut and saying her name, that's what happens.
Yeah.
She's applauding you now. It's almost like I sometimes wonder when spirit comes through and they give me the messages. I mean, I know they're doing it because it's what you need, but are they doing it as an act?
Mm-hmm.
Because they needed it. They know it had to happen.
Yeah.
So as soon as we do it, they're like, she did it. She did it. And now I'm anxious to see what they do now.
Yeah.
You needed it. And
Yeah.
I'm going to get that emotion. And that's what spirit trusts me with, because I can go there.
You know, I've just been more stuck where I'm at than I have been in a while.
It's all about the order.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't trust you to be the adult,
Yeah.
but it happened quickly. All she needed was this little prompt. She's like, all right, I'll jump in now. But she couldn't do that on her own. At this point, she didn't.
Yeah.
But now you recognize that you're the adult. And as hard as that is, I'm not saying it's not painful. It's painful.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking what you had to go through, and then all these years to hold on to that. But this is the time now. You lived your life the way you were meant to, and now there's this time.
Yeah. I just want to keep moving forward. I'm the one that's still here.
You got this far. You got this far from all the other things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Here's your mom and grandma and grandpa like turning their back on me now
Okay.
and going, well, I guess that's done. And I'm like, was it just a play to you? Was it just a script?
Yeah.
I'm like, that was good.
Yeah.
They did what they needed to do to get you to go where you needed to go. That statement was just powerful.
Yeah. Wow.
They're like, they just turned their backs and they're both going, phew, done with that. They didn't want to be stuck either.
Yeah.
They wanted to see you do this work so they could go there too.
That makes sense.
So now, you've got a lot of thoughts. You got a lot of things to think about. Does that note still serve you? Does holding on to those things still serve you? And that little girl who you want to mother, you need to mother.
Yeah. And I don't need anyone else to do it for me.
Nope. None of us do.
Yeah. I'm shifting that trajectory for my daughter, and I'm doing that work, hopefully, for my mom and even my grandparents.
They're done. They're done.
Okay.
See you later. Bye.
Yeah.
You do the work for now.
Yeah.
The souls left on this planet
Yeah.
vibrationally.
Yeah.
whoever that is, whether it's in your immediate household or 50 million miles away,
Yeah.
you're vibrationally doing the work that's changing lives. You don't know who they are.
Yeah.
So don't just thank yourself. Thank everybody else that's out there
Yeah.
that did it for you. If you or someone you know is struggling, please know there is help. I've added resources in the description of this episode. To my guest this week, thank you for allowing me to be the link in these messages. And for all of you listening, we appreciate your appearance in the oneness. In this space of love, we all expand in consciousness. If you're interested in a reading for the show or a private reading with me, see the show notes for more info. Thank you for your rating and review of this podcast. Until next time.